Welcome back to another episode of Talking at Ish and Skeen podcast. We are back in our safe space we call
Treetop Studios.
Right. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us today. This episode is going to be a little bit more what we call real. And what I mean by that is real events happening at this moment that I've never wanted to get political or talk about religion because I think categories always lead to misunderstanding, always leads to war. Like if you're a history major, like I am a big buff. When it comes to religion and politics, there's always an agenda. It always leads to misunderstanding. It always leads to chaos. It always leads to war, pretty much. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to take it in a direction of mental health, the effect of what you see, what you read, the effect of in this case, my homegirl Ish is from a Palestinian descent, and it's something we cannot ignore for the mere fact that she's living those emotions right now. In my case, right, I'm here to educate myself. I don't know what's going on, and I don't want to be, opening a newspaper or reading this, that, or the other, and getting one side of the story, not the complete story, right? So every time there is some type of conflict, even in life, when you're arguing, two people arguing, there's always this story and that story. And in both stories, there's right or wrong. So I'm here to learn. I'm here to ask some questions, to break down what's going on and have some type of understanding growth in my mind. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of posts from my homegirl as well. And I've seen posts from the other side as well. So yeah, there is a lot of conflict because there's war going on, right? And I'm here to understand what's going on and the effect, what can be when you're standing on either side of the fence. So that's what I'm here, and that's what I'm here for, to learn as well. So to my homegirl Ish, I know you're from Palestinian descent. I just want to say I've people from both sides of the fence. In your case, your culture, the way you are with your family, the way you rep your people, the way you rep your flag is something that I'm super proud of when it comes to you, because that's what I do. I represent my Ecuadorian heritage. I represent my American heritage. I represent Puerto Rico. I represent heritage. I'm not Dominican, but the people that I grew up with, growing up in Washington Heights, Bronx, you deal with Puerto Rican and Dominican and their culture, food, and everything that I've grown to love is something that I know it's somewhere embedded in. You know what I'm saying? So now that I'm getting closer to you, I'm starting to kind of want to learn and absorb your Palestinian heritage as well. So I just want to give you that moment, express to us what you're going through, what you're feeling. I know it's going to be rage, it's going to be anger, it's going to be sadness, it's going to be a whole multitude of feelings. But yeah, I just want to hear from you, like what.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I appreciate it. As you see, we didn't even start talking about it, and I got emotional already. It's just been a lot happening. And I mean, in the past week or so, a lot of things have escalated. I guess just to give some background and insight for those of you who are not familiar with what's going on or what's been going on. Um, as we all know and we're all familiar with, at the point in time, European Jews had experienced the Holocaust. And, the Holocaust happened, World War II happened, and they were displaced. They had nowhere to go. So nobody, was accepting them, giving them a place to stay. Britain actually signed, I believe, a declaration for them to be brought to Palestine as, the homeland. So we as Palestinians, and when I say Palestinians, I mean Muslims, Jews, and Christians who, at that point in time were living in peace. Those were all Palestinians, accepted those European Jews into our land. And that was in 1948 when the first of this massacre and genocide began. So basically, we accepted the European Jews into our homeland, and they turned on us and forced our families out of their homes. And whoever, didn't abide by these requests were killed basically on the spot. Families slaughtered, families' names ended because, just whole families were taken out. I think it displaced, give or take, 700,000 Palestinians, displaced, became refugees, murdered. Again, families slaughtered at that point in time. And that never stopped. And I want to be very, I want to highlight and make sure that we don't use the word conflict, because it's not a conflict, it's a genocide. It's a genocide on Palestinians. And again, it doesn't matter what religion you are. If you identify as a Palestinian, then these European Jews, who we call Zionists, are against you. And they are going after those individuals. Um, you know, just saying that it doesn't matter what religion you are, there are Jews that stand with us. So this is not about religion. And I want to emphasize that, because there's a lot of confusion about what's going on over there. It's not about even land. It's about the principle. People accept you with open arms. You turn on them, you kill them, you kill their families at point blank, and you think it's okay. Obviously, this is accepted by the US for political reasoning, or whatever their reason and justification is, to just go on and murder people unlawfully. They've committed so many war crimes and have not been condemned. um, and this past Saturday, when Hamas actually started fighting, for us, and I don't even want to say retaliated, but just defending us, started defending us, because they've had enough. Enough is enough. They took our homes, they took our land, they took our freedom. The Gaza Strip, for example, is a small piece of land, and they call it the biggest open air prison in the world, because they literally have 2.3 million humans, and I think half of them are children under 15, who live in this area that's completely gated off. So when you reference the Gaza Strip, when you reference Palestine, when you reference Israel, the West Bank, all of these places are the same piece of land. The Gaza Strip is inside of Palestine. It's basically like a city in Palestine. But if you're saying Palestine, or if you're saying Israel, it's literally the same piece of land. It's not a different country. It's not a different state. None of that. It's all the same thing. And I want to make sure that's clear, because obviously, different people reference it as something different, whether you understand it or not. Sometimes it's just a person's political preference and where they stand, where their head stands on this. The media, that's also very controlled, and that's why I'm going so crazy on Instagram. As you see, my story is flooded with information. I just want to make sure it's out there, and I want to share my gratitude also with everyone who's been engaging with me, reposting. I'm trying to keep up with all my friends and acquaintances that are asking me questions. Like, that alone means so much to me. I will sit there, take the time, and explain whatever it is that you want to understand, because again, the media controls everything. Who controls the media? The Jews. The Jews own the networks that you're watching TV on, radio stations, franchises, the NBA. All these people are putting out statements because they're being paid to do so, or because they're controlled by the Jews. So maybe, there's a celebrity who actually doesn't stand with the Israel side, and they are against it, and they're actually, for they have feelings, and they actually understand what the hell is going on. But sometimes money takes over people's mind, and when you pay a person out, they're going to put whatever the hell you want them to put up there. But go ahead, you had a question, Ronnie?
No, just going back to a few things, right? So, for example, I've seen you post a lot. I've read, I clicked on some, but me standing as a sort of in the middle, right? Because I don't have that background like you do, right? That history of what's going on. So for me to repost something or this, that, and the other would be not right of me, because I don't know what's going on, right? So it's like me walking into a fist fight, right? Obviously, my first as a human, my first thing is just, yo, chill, what's going on? But I'm trying to stay as neutral as possible because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what.
Yeah. And I totally respect that. You know, I can understand if you don't know what's going on, then you quote unquote don't want to take a side. I get that. But at the end of the day, I feel like once you do know what's going on and you understand what's actually happening and what the core of this is, what the root cause is, then you have a better sight and better understanding of what's going on. And it's not to say like, oh, we're against all Jews. No, we're not at all. This is not anti Semitism. This is not, you know, putting an X on entire religion. That's not the case at all. I know Jews. I have, you know, acquaintances or whatever. Um, we have Jews, like I said before, that stand with us and that are for the Palestinian cause and completely against what the Zionists are doing and have been doing for the past 75 years. And that's why I say it's so important that when you understand, you know, there's not, oh, I'm taking a side. No, it's more so understanding that there's underlying reasons for why you should be supporting the Palestinian cause. Because you could support the Palestinian cause and be a Jew. You could support the Palestinian cause and have Jew friends. Again, this is not about religion, it's about what's right and what's wrong.
Let me ask you a question about. I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
So, like, basing it off history and stuff like that. So, let's take Jerusalem for example. There's been a different type of. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to make it a religion thing. There's been so many different religions trying to claim Jerusalem, right? And have wars because of it. When it comes to Palestine and Israel, uh, is there a is there a piece of land that they're trying to fight for or claim or whatever the case is? Is it just,
No,
I don't know.
this comes back down to this exact topic that we're discussing. So again, it's not about religion because Palestine was always about all religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam.
Okay.
So, you know, all of that, yes, resides in Jerusalem. I mean, for God's sake, it's Jesus's, you know, birthplace is what? Bethlehem.
Right.
And that's, you know, with us. So we had, you know, all Palestinians living over there and they were invaded, they were massacred there, you know. So it's these European Jews that came in, again, who we call Zionists. Um, and they're basically fighting for it just like they're fighting for the rest of the land. They want to clean us out as, you know, Palestinians. They do not want us to exist anymore. And if you paid attention, I mean, I don't know if you saw or not, because I know my story's flooded, but
Mhm.
I posted one thing where I think it was the Prime Minister of Israel. He put a statement out and he said something along the lines of clear them out, every single one of them, slaughter them. We don't want them. You know, we're dealing with animals here. And these are literally innocent kids, families. Like, we don't have any weapons. We don't have a military. And that's why, okay, I understand, yeah, Hamas is considered like a terrorist group or whatever. And I'm not for, you know, their extremist views and certain things that they do, but they are the only thing that we have. And, you know, for them to go out and fight for us and finally say, enough is enough, you know, we have to fight for our people. I'm going to say I'm proud. Again, I'm not, you know, I don't condone the death of the innocent, no kids, like they shouldn't be in the middle of this, obviously. But I mean, nobody was saying that since 1948, you know? And for me, I don't condone that. I'm not for that. It's very upsetting seeing kids being hurt, and in the middle of crossfire. But it's been a one-sided war for 75 years. The one day we decide to fight back and the US is up in arms. Also, I know a lot of people, like, they were mentioning how Biden approved that $6 billion bill to Iran, and they started threatening them, and they're like, don't you dare get involved, because they're worried that they're going to take that and help the Palestinians fight back. So a lot of people are like pointing the finger at Biden. They're also saying that the US knew that this was going to happen because before this occurred, I think maybe the week before, within that week, US Congress invested in war stocks. and they knew obviously that things were going to go up. So it was already premeditated. Obviously, they knew. I also heard that Israel has one of the best intels in the world.
Mhm.
And everyone's like, oh my God, we're so shocked. You didn't catch on to this. You didn't know that this was coming. Um, but on the other side, it's like they knew this was coming. You know, they wanted a reason so that they can go into the Gaza Strip and wipe out all the people clean without, having to explain themselves. So if Hamas went in and attacked them, then they'd be like, okay, well, we're going to clean you guys out in Gaza because you did this. So all the people that are like, oh, we're surprised you didn't catch this, you have to really dig deep and stop believing the media, stop believing the things that are on your TV and on your radios because they're spewing what they want to spew. They're putting on there, the videos that they want you to see. We have all that AI intelligence now. You think that they're not modifying things, for your eyes? It's all controlled. And that's what drives me the craziest is that people are so gullible. You see one thing on TV and you run with it. I saw another article that they were dissecting, and it's so true. It said something about X amount of Palestinians died, but X amount of Israelis were killed. And those are key words. You're using the word died and you're using the word killed. So Palestinians, what are they just dropping dead? Are they dying because they're sick? But then Israelis are being killed. And that's the thing that people don't pay attention to. It's these key words. And obviously, it's going to play a role in your emotions. You read something and you're just quick to judge, but you're not taking the time out to understand what's actually happening, what they're controlling, right in front of your eyes because they don't want you to see the truth. And that's why I go so hard to make sure that if anyone has a question, I answer it. If, there's a protest, I want to be there. Even, I'm one person, but one person adds. And if you educate one person, it's going to continue to trickle if you continue educating. It's so important. And it's not just with this cause. We have BLM. We have so many other, causes that we got to stand up for. But for me, it's critical that we all stand together because you have one cause for a group of people. We're going to need your support. And same for you. You're going to look for our support. And when we don't give you that support, you're going to be upset. And that really tugs at my heart because when I'm on Instagram and I'm posting stuff and I see people reposting my stuff, I'm like, you understand, you're reposting, you understand what the hell is going on, and I appreciate you. That one post matters so much because who knows who you're reaching and who you're educating. And you have people who support other causes and they're not reposting shit. But then when they want you to repost stuff for their cause, they're looking at you and they're like, oh, what are you doing? So it's upsetting, and that plays a big role in a person's emotions when something like this is happening, especially to your people.
Right. Yeah. That's the whole point. I wanted to reach out to and have about what's going on with your emotions, what's going on with your mental type of input and everything that you're seeing. It plays a big part on your mental stability, right?
Mhm.
But going back to what you said, history and knowing and this and that and the other. I mean, we can go back as Pearl Harbor. You know what I'm saying? Uh, they knew it was coming. They knew the submarines were coming. They even documentary that they heard the pinging of some type of submarine intrusion, and the line of command didn't do what they were supposed to do, right?
Mhm.
But in history, you know it.
Yeah.
What or do? It's money. The money
Yep.
based, right? So now you need bullets. You're gonna need this. You're gonna need tanks. You need ammo. You're gonna need a whole bunch of things. So if you go back to even World War I or World War II, the U.S. was, I don't want to use the word dying, but they were eager to the war because they knew coming back from the Great Depression, this is going to be an economy boost by
Mhm.
a long shot. So they were just looking for an excuse to get Pearl Harbor. A lot of people died and stuff like that. Obviously in war, there's going to be casualties, and may they all rest in peace. But to use that term, you got to sacrifice a few to get what you want. So in this case, that's what the U.S. did. All right, now we're in the war. Now let's make money. Because basically that's what it is. It's right. but yeah, when it comes to intel and stuff like that, you know, if I'm the president of Ecuador, right, president of whatever, and I'd be like, you know what, fuck you, I'm gonna, you want war, you got war, you already know war, right? But it's up to you to spread that message around and say, all right, Ecuador is ready to attack. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They wait until they get attacked, and now you react. So it's always reaction type of thing. They wait for somebody to commit that crime that we
Hmm.
call outrageous, and then we go from there. You know, and like
Yeah.
I said, I just wanted to get the source of where the origin of this conflict. And because I mean, in any type of
Not a
conflict,
conflict.
no, no, I'm just trying to keep it in like, I guess, just simple words and stuff like that. I guess
Yeah.
there's an origin to something. So, like for example, even when you think of tyrants, from Napoleon to whoever you want to add, there's gonna people that are gonna ride hard for them. They're gonna be like, "Nah, we're the best thing." Even a Hitler, there were some people that are, "Yo, he's the best thing, sliced bread," and there's other people that be like, "Nah, we gotta stop him 100%." So you got this side, but in between that, there's all these people that they want to live life and live life peacefully, and they're caught in the crossfire. And I
Hmm.
think when I see posts from both sides, right, from no matter what, I'm not even talking about this type of situation going on right now, but
Yeah.
I'm general, period. You know what I mean? From Iraq to Korea to Vietnam, there's always those people in the that just want to live life peacefully, and they get caught in the crossfire. So I think sometimes too, when you hear things like, "Yo, my heart goes out to this, that," I'm not really thinking radical or this side or that side. I'm really thinking about the people that are caught in the crossfire. You know what I mean? Of of these people that, like, for example, when the Capitol got invaded, right? There were
Mhm.
security there that, or police that lost their lives because cats were just storming into the Capitol and wilding out because they had beef in this individual.
Mhm.
No matter if he's found of being a sex violator or whatever, my man, he's on trial right now, but they still ride or die for him, no matter what. He can't do wrong.
Yeah.
Part of the brainwashing, right? Whatever that person has that power, it is what it is. But um I guess that's what I'm saying. You're gonna have those fanatical people that no matter what, they think this is the right way, and then you're gonna have these people on this side that they believe this is the right way, and then it's just there's people in between that get caught in the crossfire. So that's my whole, my whole thing, to
Yeah.
war. Always the people that are caught in the middle.
And
So
I can totally understand that. Obviously the people caught in the middle of a war, that's no joke. That's not right. But for this specifically, I mean, this was always a one-sided war. Nobody looked at us when we were enduring the violence for 75 years, whether it was an innocent person or someone who was fighting back. Nobody looked our way. So in this matter, obviously I don't want to see any kids getting hurt, but as far as the adults go, those adults are righteous. Those adults don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves. And if you know, you know. If you don't, I hope you brush up on knowledge and learn. I've been posting a few Jewish people even that are having these conversations. I posted a whole video about these Jews that were there, back in the day who actually killed my people and were a part of that, raped them. And they're in this video laughing and talking about it like it's nothing. These are the kind of people that we're after. And these are the kind of people that we are fighting against. Like I said, enough is enough. You're going to have nerve to sit there, smile in our faces, and laugh at our pain and think that we're not going to fight for ourselves. You're crazy. Because as Palestinians, we're fighters. And, whether if we're living on to see our freedom or if we die for our freedom, we're going to fight for it. And whether that's, posting on social media to make sure people are informed or fighting back, throwing rocks because we have no weapons, whatever it is that we're going to do, we're going to do. You know, that's that's just all that it is. And I understand, you said people getting caught up in the crossfire is very unfortunate, but for this situation, They had it coming. They had it coming because, I mean, not for nothing, and I'm always going to say this, it might sound crazy, but you didn't learn nothing from the Holocaust, and you come right back and you're inflicting the same pain on another group of people is crazy to me. It's nuts because those are the people that came out of that. You know, their ancestors are the ones that endured that pain, and your offspring is going to another location and inflicting that pain on others makes absolutely no sense to me.
And I think just tying it back to history, it's crazy how no matter if it's religion or people trying the right way, been oppressed and and XYZ, no matter what it is, you don't learn. That's the thing that out. You don't learn from your history and end up repeating this history again to someone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even little things like, for example, I know it's gonna sound silly, but understand my understand my reasoning, right? So, like, in the last couple of days, I've noticed people like if I'm sitting online, they get so close to me that I turn around and I'd be like, "Damn, dog, what happened to the 6 feet?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But think about it, right? Little things like that. All
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden, like today, I was at Aldi's getting my shop on, and the dude is standing right next. I'm talking about like if I'm here, he's right here.
Mm-hmm.
I turned to him and I said, "Hey, dude, can you give me a little bit of space?" And then he looked at me up and down, and I was like, "Yo, hold up, man! Like you, like you're gonna be in my space." But I was just like, "Damn, we just got COVID. Didn't teach you anything?
Mm-hmm.
Like, did COVID teach you how to wash your fucking hands properly? A lot of people weren't washing their hands. Now they hands. They might have forgotten, but now it's just like fuck that. COVID is over, so I don't need the 6 feet. I'm gonna give you the 6 inches now. You know what I'm
Yeah. People
saying?
don't learn.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, you just went through something that it was just so, contagious,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whatever the case was, and now you're back to normal, and you're just right on my shoulder. Like I'm like, dude, like what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So, go back now in the great scale. It's like they say, man, if you don't learn from your history, you're bound to repeat it.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, it's just sometimes when I watch this, it's just history just going in rotation, and we're reliving the same thing but through a different type of adventure, I want to say.
Exactly.
And it's real sad, man. Real sad. What's up, guys? It's your boy Skeen here, back to let you know and remind you that my co-host Aisha has an amazing poetry book called Treetop Echoes. It is available now on Amazon as well as Barnes and Nobles. So if you're in the market for a new book, please pick it up. You will not be disappointed in this amazing poetry book. So the name of the book, once again, Treetop Echoes, available on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. Get your copy today. Talking That Ish and Skeen podcast is now available on iHeartRadio and Apple Podcast. Say word, Skeen. Word to Big Bird. So now our show, me and Ish, you know how we doing it. Talking That Ish and Skeen podcast is now available on Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. No excuse. You can't miss us. We there, we everywhere. Say word, Skeen. Word to Big Bird. So we'll talk to you soon. Take care, guys. Peace. Here's another thing that bugs me out. Now I see you wearing a soccer jersey, and this is part of my talking at work type, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just amazing to me because the power of sport, like a World Cup,
Mm-hmm.
it brings people together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's crazy to me how people can put down the gun, can put down this, can put down that, can put down the hate, and just watch a ball and root for your country so proudly.
Yeah.
And when your team is out, you jump on another team's bandwagon because they're having a great run. So, like for example, Morocco, like when it was going down and they were Final Four, it was like every that was in the other three countries cheering for Morocco
Yeah. I
with
remember.
no problem, right? No matter what issue it was.
Yeah.
And that's to me how a game, a sport, can bring people together. But
Mhm.
and it's possible because you see it. And then once the game is over, then they pick up the axe, they pick up everything to keep up with the hostility, and
Yeah.
that really baffles my mind every time. And it's just so sad that sports can bring us together, and then once sports is over, we go back to the hate, because it's easy to hate, right? It's easy to,
Yeah.
you know.
But you know what? Oh, not for nothing. Sports brings us so close together because sports has nothing to do with politics. The people that are being brought together are just regular citizens. They're not people in Congress. They're not your president, your leader, prime minister, or whatever. Those are the people that are causing war. Those are the people that are causing, issues amongst general citizens.
Right.
And that's why sports is so different because it's unrelated. You know, I
Yeah,
can be in a room full of, whatever, like all different religions. And yeah, we're going to come together because this is what we have in common. And there's nothing else that matters at that point in time. But when
yeah,
it comes to war and hate and this and that, it's all curated by the government. They're all in control, whether it's racism or someone fighting over a religion or this religion's better than that one. Oh, your skin color is ugly, or this is my piece of land, not yours. Whatever the fuck they're spewing, it's all coming from the government. It's taught. It's not, you're not born with it. This is, taught from your parents. This is taught from the government, but sports is totally different. And that's why it's so easy for everyone to come together in that situation
yeah. I know, but it's
or
still,
setting.
it's still mine. I just can't. Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but damn, a sport can bring you together so
Mhm.
easily. But when the sport
Right.
is back to the hate, and then you're absolutely right. It's all the people in power, right?
Mhm.
Funny thing is that the people in power, you'll never see them on the front line. You know what I mean? It will be just the average person, or
Faster.
fanatical, or this and that ride or die, and then they're gonna go ride or die.
Mhm.
While the like you said, no matter what your title is, president, king, emperor,
Whatever the fuck you are, the biggest cowards.
yeah, they'll be drinking tea and smoking cigars and shit, and
Mhm.
you in the front lines eating cheese. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
unfortunately, that like we said, man, it's just I don't know, man. Humans being human is ugly, man.
It
You know,
is ugly. And it's unfortunate that we have to, go through these circumstances and fight for certain things that shouldn't even have to be fought for. It's insane. But I do have a fun fact for you I could throw in there.
all right, let's go. Let's hear it.
So you mentioned sports and the jersey. So this jersey is actually a Chilean soccer team and it's called FC Palestina because we have a huge Palestinian population in Chile when we actually were invaded and everyone had to spread for refuge. So some people went out there and our population is huge in Chile.
Yo, that's funny. Now that you say that, I remember during the World Cup. I'm trying to remember. I believe it was in. Oh, I don't want to get it wrong because I'm gonna sound like a doof. But
What is it? I could look it up.
I think it was in Ireland.
Uh-huh. Ireland supports us heavy, by the way.
Yes, and I believe it was part of FC Celtic or Celtic FC. But
Yeah.
anyway, World Cup was popping. They went there because there's a huge Palestinian contingent there,
Mm-hmm.
and they were rocking, like, I don't know if it was the Palestinian jersey or a certain team, or
Yeah.
they were heavy. And I remember watching, and I was like, yo, I gotta hit my homegirl, like, because this is great,
Uh-huh.
blowing to me. So
Yeah.
even cuisine, which obviously if you're from Ireland, you're not really known for your cuisine. But there was a couple of restaurants infused with the Ireland, like, potato type of vibe that they had going
Oh.
with the Palestinian cuisine. There was some dishes that was crazy. So they were talking about dishes, they were talking about food, they were talking about sport.
Uh-huh.
But no, I can definitely see that. But
That's
you know,
crazy.
yeah, man, it's mind blowing how, like, no matter where, you can find refuge somewhere and find acceptance somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just sometimes, man, it's across the world, like Chile. or it can be up north, like in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just crazy to me, man. I mean, we can go down history, Roman, Greek, Egyptian, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you'll find those stories where people are invaded, taken over, and all this crap has been going on forever.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, it's gonna, damn, I wish it wouldn't, but it's gonna keep going on. And if it's gonna be somebody else or whatever the case is,
Yep.
but it just doesn't stop, man. It never stops, and it's just something that's so fucking sad.
It is. People don't realize how big that this is gonna get to. It ain't ending right now. It ain't ending this week. That's for sure. Especially the US is getting involved, and I think they send a Navy ship out there. So
Yeah, I did see that today that they sent biggest naval ships
mhm.
in U.S. forces or whatever to Israel and stuff like that. And
Palestine.
oh, Palestine. I'm sorry.
But to the Israelis, yes, you are
Right,
right.
that's what it was. All right, don't.
I'm gonna just keep correcting you till you learn.
No. I knew. It's like the post was big and it said to Israel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you're right. You're right. They sent it to them.
Right. And
But
then,
again, just a reminder for those listening, Israel and Palestine is the same piece of land.
yeah, that's another thing that I was going to ask you, right? Because we always say that's what I didn't know, right?
Hmm. That's why I'm saying it, because I know a lot of people don't know.
So yeah, so it's the same country. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong.
Same ground, same dirt, same everything. No border. It's just like it's imaginary borders that these fuckers created to keep us out.
Right.
They do have walls up in some areas and the fence around the Gaza Strip to keep them fenced in.
See, here's the thing that bugs me out, right? Every wall that you put up in history, this
Hmm.
shit don't last, man.
Yep.
So you had the Berlin Wall. That shit lasted for X amount of years. That being said, and then the wall comes down.
Hmm.
And it's just crazy to me how we keep putting up these walls and shit, barriers where it's mind blowing to me, man. How it's just everything repeats itself. And I understand the walls from history, trying to keep barbarians out back in the days. If you were the Roman Empire, or even if you're from Spain and you built these forts, and that you can find in South America, the Caribbean, everywhere. Everywhere you go, you think Puerto Rico, or like if you're in Colombia, you think you're in Puerto Rico because they fuck the same. You're in Ecuador, you swear you close your eyes, put you in the middle of Ecuador, you think you're fucking in Puerto Rico. It's just crazy, right? But it is. But it's just amazing to me how these walls go up and either they become relics of history
Yep.
or they just become something that you read in a textbook.
Hmm.
But fuckers do borders and put up walls and shit, and at no time do they just sit down and be like, this shit ain't gonna last.
Yeah.
And
Oh, imagine this. Imagine you are Palestinian, right? It's 1948. You're in your house with your kids, your family, whatever, your parents, all that. And I'm the Zionist European Jew coming to your country and at your front door with a gun in your face talking about get out, leave all your belongings, or I'm going to shoot you dead.
right,
And that's exactly, what so many thousands, hundreds of thousands of families had to experience at that point in time. And not only that, but up to today, we have we have Zionist Jews literally from Brooklyn, New York, who are being paid to go over there and take over a Palestinian's home and kick them out of their house. That is literally what's happening right under our noses. And people have no idea. So, yes, that happened in 1948, but that is still happening in 2023. And there's a video that surfaced of one of these guys who's actually from Brooklyn, this Jew. And he was like, if I don't steal their house, then somebody else is. Leave me alone. And that was all over the internet. It's probably still on YouTube too.
right.
And this is the shit that my people had to deal with. So yeah, the people in Gaza were fenced in, but you know what? My people brought that bitch down. And that's what we're doing. We're fighting back. And I want to make sure that everyone understands why we're fighting back, because the media portrays us to be the animals and we're not. We're literally just fighting for our basic human rights. Imagine you're being forced out of your house, then you're seeking refuge, and then you're taken and put into this little piece of land with 2.3 million other people, and you're fenced in. You can't get in, you can't get out. You need a job, you're gonna have to find a job within that little strip to survive. And you know what's going on in that little strip? You're getting bombed by the Israelis on a regular ass day. You don't know what to expect. You know what else they do? They control your electricity and they control your water. I
Yeah,
think you they turn on and off your electricity. It's all at their hands. So yeah, maybe you're cooking dinner while your electricity is out. Maybe you need the lights on. Electricity is out. You can't do shit about it, but depend on the moon and the stars. As far as the water goes, I think they get a refill once every 2 weeks. And if you run out of it, you're shit out of luck. You
I,
can't bathe, you can't cook, nothing.
yeah, I saw a video about that actually. And then when you said the water, there was a young lady, I guess, on top of a building, and
Hmm.
like you open the lid of the water,
Yeah, exactly.
and then she said hello, and you could hear like an echo.
Yeah, yep, yep. That's right.
That every 15 days or something it gets filled, and
Hmm.
what you have and stuff, and to think about, you know, and it's sad, man, to think about that, the fact that up from this where I'm sitting at, go to the kitchen, get my water with no second thought of,
None.
you know what I'm saying? And there's people that walk miles and miles to get fresh water, you know,
Hmm.
and to have somebody control that, um, it's something that's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
something I can't fathom at all, you know, but
Hmm.
it's unfortunately it's history, man. It's history. It
I
can
hope it's history because we're fighting our way for our peace and it's gonna be in the past.
for sure. I mean, you have to, you know,
Hmm.
if you know, just in history. Once again, I go to history. If you feel oppressed, if you feel like shit ain't going right, there's
Yeah.
gonna be a revolution, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And I know I caught myself earlier when I said Romans and barbarians. Oh, I caught myself. Then I thought, like, damn, I'm using the word barbarians, right? So at that time, that's what they were called from a Roman aspect,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
If you're a barbarian seen from Germany or the Dutch lands or Iceland, and you're a Viking, that type of thing. And you're looking at the Romans like, yo, they invaded our shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you see it from both sides, right? Like you ever watched a movie or a TV show and you're watching it from the Rome perspective, you're gonna side with the Romans, right? Because you see it from the Roman perspective. If you see a movie like, I'm gonna date myself again, but like the movie with Mel Gibson that I think he played a Scottish warrior like that. I'm trying to Braveheart.
Okay.
So back in the days, or you move that perspective, and they're fighting the Romans or whatever the case is. Now you're gonna side with the basically barbarians, as you know what I'm saying.
Hmm.
So that's to make that connection with what you're saying is whatever the media is putting out there, you're gonna sort of side with them because the movie version that you're seeing from that perspective. So
Hmm.
that go back to getting knowledge from you, getting understanding from you, you being, you know, on the Palestinian side, obviously. So I'm trying to get perspective. So I don't see it from either lens. I can kind of be in the middle and be like, what the fuck y'all doing? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That type of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, so that's the whole thing, right? And you said it is what are you consuming that's affecting you between the ears? You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
and you
And
got
I was gonna say, I know you said, I'm on the Palestinian side, obviously.
mhm,
And obviously, I'm on the Palestinian side because we're fighting for basic human rights. If it was the other way around, I would totally be, rooting for them. But
right.
I'm not because they are the oppressors. We are the oppressed. So I will fight for the oppressed and I will fight for basic human rights. So because you said the word obviously, I want to make sure like it's obvious that I am fighting with reason
Right.
and not just because this is who I am and I am a born Palestinian. No, I'm fighting because people are suffering, you know?
No, I get it. I get it. Like I'm saying, man, like if you guys are listening, or even Aisha, and I say something that, please let me know because I'm here to get educated,
Yeah, 100%. I'm here to teach you.
right? And I'm not here to just be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I want
Yeah.
to leave the conversation today with having some perspective and making ties. Like I said, I'm a history guy, so ties to history and see, all right, what's playing itself all over again, just different ingredients or different people, but the same thing is going on, just in a different way. You know what I mean? And like I said, man, it's truly sad, man. No matter what it is, no matter who's at war or this, that, and the other, like, war's still going on in Ukraine and Russia. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff, and your heart goes out to them as well. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying?
And that's the thing too, like you mentioned them. If if it was, a different country, we're a heavily Islamic based country. So people are naturally, or governments are naturally going to look the other way. And when it comes to the Ukrainian Russian war, if it's a Ukrainian who's fighting for their rights and, fighting back because shit is wrong, then it's like, oh, okay, let's pray for them. But
Right.
in a situation like this, it's like, damn, we really got to fight tooth and nail just to make sure people understand what the hell is really going on. And that shit is unfair. It's tough. It's really fucking rough. But you know what? We're going to keep doing it. If that's what it takes to do, then we're going to keep doing it.
Right. And like you said, it's propaganda, right? It's who's benefiting from it, right? So if like
Yep.
the government says, all right, let's back up Ukraine because they're fighting our enemy from the Cold War days, of course it's going to be easy for them, right? In this case, they have a long-standing relationship with Israel, and everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? Even now, when I was a little kid, they always going over there, they was coming over here, that type of thing, prime ministers and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you have that version as well. So it's always who's benefiting from what. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's usually, in this case, in some cases, like Ukraine is to their benefit. The U.S. is, backing them up and stuff like that. But somebody always finds their way out of the picture,
Mhm.
and it feels like the world is against them. That type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So
I
I can.
mean, for us, we're in the Middle East. They're after our oil. And that's why they threaten all the surrounding Arab countries. You better not get involved. They have, there's allyship there. They're in need. US is, if I'm not mistaken, the biggest consumer of oil.
Of course.
So they need us, but they need that tie. And it's like, damn, if you get involved, we're gonna fucking come after you as well. So there's a lot of allyship there, and that sucks because, like, let's say for example, Egypt or Iran, like, their people stand with us, but the government holds them back. So many people, so many Egyptians who were going rushing to the Egyptian Palestinian border because they want to come in and help us. But you know what? It's probably going to be tough for them to get in because there's military there, and if they let them go, like my cousin said, it's gonna be like Egypt is given the green flag, like, oh, we're allowing our people to fight with the Palestinians. That's gonna be an issue between Egypt and the US. There's so much shit that's underlying politically that just I don't even have words for it. It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
It is because, like you said, you hit it on the head when you said oil. It's all oil driven, right? Money driven, the whole 9 yards, right?
Hmm.
Here's the other sad part, right? And once again, I go to history. But if you think about the Middle East and all that, there's always been conflict no matter what throughout the centuries, and not only century, thousands of years. There's always been, that part of the world has just always been unease from the Greek days to the freaking Roman days to every day I can think about. For the most part, there's always been conflict. There's been peace for a while, and then all of a sudden, here comes leader XYZ. He's a knucklehead, and he wants to rule the world because they all want to rule the world. You know what I mean? So in this case, the U.S. is that wants to rule the entire world and stuff. And I don't get.
That's the problem. They get involved in every goddamn thing, but can't figure out their own problems here back at home. You got all these homeless people. You got all this debt that you're sitting in, but you're giving Israelis $3 billion a year? For what? You're
Actually,
giving them our tax money? Give us free fucking healthcare. Stop letting kids pay for college.
yo,
Worry about the people on your streets.
what's crazy though? Now that you say that, it's like it's just throwing a little light right into dark times, but a little laughter, a little humor, because sometimes we need it as well when we're going
Mhm.
through much chaos. But motherfuckers are trying to find life on motherfucking Mars. But life here is out of control. It's
Talking
crazy.
about they're opening a hotel in space.
Like
fuck that. Like, what y'all worrying about? The wrong things. The wrong things. We don't give a fuck about that.
you
Y'all
try.
have so many problems down here on Earth.
That's what I'm saying. Like you trying to fuck up space and Mars, and we
That's
keep.
all they do is fuck shit up, especially this country.
Yeah, it's crazy with all the resources, but we, and we still struggling. You know what I'm saying? It is, like I said, man, it's just something that's crazy and wild, man, and something that you scratch your head and you be like, you know what I'm saying? We try to do our best, but we'll never get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff and you go through these moments of chaos and turmoil and sadness, really, because a lot of
Yeah.
people by it, no matter what. I mean, the images that you see, um, the stuff that you have to read, um, the stories that you come about. You know what I'm saying? Because of your posts and stuff like that, you get filtered with other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're definitely censoring things online. Like, I was trying to make a comment and they basically blocked me from doing so. But if you go through the comment section, you see all these pro-Israeli comments, and I'm like, what the fuck? But it's also not a shocker to me because we're used to that. I saw some friends who had posted some pro-Palestinian posts, and I was, trying to respond out of gratefulness and thankfulness, and it wouldn't let me. It said that the post is taken down, so it won't even let you click into it to see it or watch the video. But if it's something is pro-Israeli, then it allows you to. There's a lot of censorship going on, and it's out of control. But that's what they do. They control us.
yeah, and once again, I know you guys are probably like, he goes with the history. It is right. So Nazis was controlling everything, and the Jews running out of this, that, or the other. I remember watching this TV series on Apple TV and stuff, and it had to do actual people and stuff like that. The actual stuff, and there was Jews that had to pretty much hide in people's house, secret rooms, and this, that, and the other, and be up there for like not even talking about months. I'm talking about years.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Anne Frank's uh, family, the famous author that
Yeah,
passed.
yeah.
So her family was up, and she was part of up in this
The attic.
secret room for many, like I think it was like 2-3 years or something like that. And it was a sad story. But back to what you're saying, right? It's just like you've been through these events, you've heard these stories, you went through your grandparents or great grandparents went through this, and now here you go somewhere, you know what I'm saying, and you repeat that cycle.
Yeah, and it's not even just that, but like it's all over the world. Black people had to do the same thing,
Mhm.
slavery times. And we're in 2023, and there are still people who choose to turn a blind eye to what happened to them.
Mhm.
We still got racists running around, pro-white and this and that, and it's fucking crazy. But that's the thing, like we have to band together. You're not just gonna sit back and be like, oh, we have our own problems to worry about, because I see a lot of that too. I see a lot of black people in, the comments, or even like A-list, black people who are pro-Israel. And it's crazy to me because I'm like, when you're going through your struggle, we're standing right the fuck there with you, you know? And it's not like it's oh, choose Israel or choose Palestine. No, it's choose the right fucking thing. If you're going to stand for BLM, if you're going to stand for LGBTQ, if you're going to stand for whatever the fuck you're going to stand for, then you got to stand for it all. If it's a matter of human rights, you got to, you can't just pick and choose what the hell you want to do. We had the Holocaust, we had slavery, we got this going on, this been going on, but you can't just turn a blind eye. We got to stand together, and that's my thing. My objective is just to make sure I'm educating as many people as I can, because again, a lot of people don't understand, you know, and it's important. The more you understand, the better an idea you have on your stance, and you're not just going with what the media is telling you and what uh, other people are running with just for the hell of it because they're ignorant and they don't want to learn. No, take the fucking time out, learn, understand, and figure out what the hell is going on for real, because you're just going to pick and choose and you're going to look like a dummy at the end of the day. But I guess it doesn't matter because it doesn't affect your life. But you can't have that mindset, and that's the problem with a lot of people. And I said, a lot of black people, because yeah, like I'm in the comment sections, and I said that specifically because like the BLM thing. So I've seen comments where it's like we have our own problems to worry about, let them figure it out kind of thing. And I was talking to, I think, one of my cousins about that earlier. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen that so many times before, and it's so upsetting to me. I don't like seeing that. But then you have obviously other people, other black people, my friends, who are reposting shit and they understand what the hell is going on because they're taking the time out to understand. And I just use that as an example, but there's so much ignorance out there that needs to be stopped and overcome. Like, you got to learn, you got to take the time out and the effort. Because when it comes to you, you're going to have people that you want in your corner. It's just fucked up.
Right. No, I mean, you're absolutely right. Ignorance is always going to be bliss, right? People, well, I remember doing book reports back in the days, and I would go to the library and be like, yo, let me get the cliff notes because I didn't want to read the whole entire book. You know what I'm saying? So some people just get their content off, TV or social media. I just wanted to learn. I knew I wanted to have this discussion with you. I wanted to have it off air, but when you reached out to me, you'd be like, and I kind of sense that in all your posts, like, yo, my homie's going through it. So let's use this platform that we have here to express, let her express her feelings, let me ask questions to enlighten me, you
Mm-hmm.
know, try to find out like what's going on, you know what I'm saying, so I could better inform myself. But like you said, that's me taking the time to understand what the hell is going on instead of going rah rah rah. I want
Mm-hmm.
to learn and then make my own conclusion and be like, yeah, like obviously, you know what I'm saying, your background, your culture, your origin, everything that means a lot to me because that makes you who you are, right? So I brush it under the rug and be like, it's not mine, it's not me.
I
Like,
appreciate you.
right, because you're part of my life now, and it's something that I have to understand and support you in that manner and be here for you when you need somebody to talk to who is just here. I love comparing everything to history. You know what I mean? Because like I said, once again, I'm a history buff. I like to learn from history, not to repeat mistakes and stuff. But like you said, man, ignorance is bliss. There's a lot of people who, yeah, I want you to stand for me, but when it's time for me to stand for you, nah, I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
And that's part of life, man. That's how people do, right? So it's like that you lend money to, and then when you're trying to get your money back, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That type. So but you have those people in your life that are standing with you and supporting you in whatever case, and that's a beautiful thing too. So you always
100%.
right, you're always gonna have those people that are ignorant, and that's fine. That's life. You have to have those ignorant people. That's why you have laws. You know what I'm saying? And that's why red light and a green help idiots from just going doing whatever the fuck they want to do, stuff like that. So yeah, that was the whole purpose to give you this platform today, my homie, because I know
That means
just
a lot. Thank you.
yeah, that you see, just seeing your posts, I know there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of feelings there, you know what I'm saying, and like I said, I just wanted to learn from those and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's something that we don't do normally on
I know it's totally off brand.
right, I'm talking at Asian Skeen, but like when it comes to events like this where it hits home, we're definitely going to take time to talk about it, and let that person who's affected, in this case Aisha, that's affected real, in a real sense, real time, real events that are going on right now. It's something that I think we have to respect the moment and embrace the moment, understand the moment, and then support the moment as well. So yeah, I mean, if you have anything else to say, my girl, the platform is, like I said in the text, the platform is all yours. You know what I mean? So
Thank you, my guy.
yeah, for sure.
I guess, just to cap this off, I don't have a gem for today. It's more so just a recap. I want to make sure you guys understand this is not a conflict. This is not a war. It's a one-sided war. This is a genocide on Palestinians, whether you're a Jew, whether you're a Christian, whether you're Islamic. It doesn't matter what your religion. If you are Palestinian, this is a war on you. So I feel like, it's super important for me to emphasize that so you guys understand that this is not about religion. This is not about land. This is all the same place. This is the same dirt. Israel, Palestine is the same place. But at the end of the day, like I said, whether it's BLM, LGBTQ, whatever it is, if it's basic human rights, we gotta band together and we gotta fight together, because we're not gonna be heard otherwise. You can't expect an entire government to make a decision and then just one person goes up and says this is wrong and think that they're going to make a change. No, we have to band together, we have to speak up, we have to show up and show out as a unit in order to be heard. And that's for any cause anywhere in the world. It's super important, and I hope that you guys had some clarification from this conversation today. uh, if you need further clarity or understanding, please, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at Poetry with Ish. I post on my story nonstop videos, informationals. You can go ahead and check that out for better understanding. So again, thank you guys for listening, and I hope that you gained the clarity that you needed.
I love
You
that.
know, Thank you to you as well. Thank you for allowing me the time to speak on this topic. Super important to me.
Of course, you got that anytime, that. And just one thing, I guess, we usually cap the show with a gem, but in this case, the gem is just do your research. That should be your gem. Go beyond what you see. Go behind the backstories. There's a lot of underground reporters and stuff like that. They'll give you the truth because that's what they see. They're not tied to the CNNs of the world. They're not tied to the Fox News of the world. They're not tied to any of those major things. They're just somebody posting on YouTube or somebody posting on whatever social platform, and get the real understanding of what's going on, and learn, and hopefully, like if those people out there, this doesn't affect my life. No, it will, because history repeats itself. And in some way, somehow, it'll probably get back to you in a different manner. But if you do your research now, understand the behavior, understand the why. And that's the thing, understand the why this is going on. Then you'll probably get some better perspective on not only this event that's going on right now, but in future events and even in past events, you can learn from it as well. So anytime something is going on like this that is earth changing, uh, yeah, if we still on this platform, we're going to talk about it and stuff, because it's something that's we're living. It's a topic, a discussion. If a little kid on my soccer team comes up to me, and this just happened, what's today? Tuesday? It was yesterday. Hey, coach, you heard what's going on with the war? That's crazy, from an 8-year-old, right? Right. If he's coming up to me, that means he's seeking knowledge. He's
Mhm.
seeking, and I couldn't give him an answer. I said, I know what's going on. I just don't know the details for me to even give you uh, some type of reasoning. You know what I'm saying? So I had to educate myself, you
Yeah,
know, to understand and give him perspective. But like you said, this gem is just go get research, man. Go get understanding. Go get knowledge and learn. So
yeah.
that
Stop believing the media because it's all controlled and it's biased. They're gonna put out there what they want you to see. So if you're gonna believe that, and then you're not believing, it's not the truth. You're not taking that in.
so like I said, my friend, I appreciate all the knowledge you kicked today. I'm definitely going to ask you more questions once we get off this, but I just want to platform today, because, like I said, it's real events, and we want to talk about them when it affects us close to people that we care about, and
Mhm.
definitely on this show. So I appreciate your time, and I guess you were the guest of honor today.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, listen, man, take care of yourself. I know this was something that we just do off the wall, but in reality, when it comes all to it, it comes down to emotion, it comes down to feelings, it comes down to mental state. So it still affects, and it's still part of our show. So talking at Ish and Skeen podcast, we're here not on relationships, love relationships, friend relationships, but current events as well. So please be healthy out there, learn something, open your mind, and just kind of grow your experiences as we live life. Like I said, my girl, I got nothing but love for you, understanding, respect, and I hope this. I don't want to use the word conflict because I know you're gonna look at me like you asked, but
I'm gonna beat your
uh,
ass.
yeah, this one-sided war, like you said it so clearly. I hope it comes to an end soon, man, because it's just too much suffering, too much pain. It's something that, unfortunately, we live in life over and over and over again, and it doesn't matter what the fucking picture is or the painting is still the same fucking result. People just die, and a lot of pain and a lot of hurt. So, guys, please take care of yourself. Make tomorrow a better place. Nothing but love, man. Have a safe week. Take care of each other. And just to close it on this note, man, just pick up the phone and tell somebody you love them, because you never know, they might need it.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed.
Yep. Well, talk to you guys next week. Take care. Peace.
Free Palestine.
Talking at Ish and Skeen.
Show you right.